Megan, and welcome to my channel, Fearless Vision. And today we're going to talk about how to visualize to achieve your goals faster. I absolutely love this topic. I want to geek out on this topic. But before I take you on my journey, if you want to get entered into my drawing every month, I do to win this book in digital form, my latest book, Live the La Dolce Vita Formula. I'm getting that mixed up with another program I have. Live your La Dolce Vita life in 30 days. Anyways, you'll get into the drawing for the digital copy. Now, if you want to get a copy of this book right away for less than $10, go to fearlessandfabulousbook.com and you'll get the digital form. Okay. One more thing before we dive into today's topic. Make sure you hit the thumbs up on this video. Why is that important? Because more women just like you will learn about this channel and then hit the subscribe button. So do me a solid. All of this content is free for you. So if I could ask that little favor, I would so appreciate it. Okay, so today we're going to talk about visualization, achieving your goals, why this is important. This is a fundamental and foundational piece of the work that I do when I'm working with high performance women entrepreneurs or executives. It doesn't matter what you do. If you understand that using visualization to achieve any goal is like having a superpower, you will never want to live your life in another way. I guarantee it. So this subject, I kind of want to share with you some of the things that when I was connected to understanding visualization, I didn't really know I was doing it and how it was working. So when I was younger, and I might have said this in another video, but I'm going to say it again because repetition is key. So when I was in grade school, I want to say I was in kindergarten, and we would have these carnivals, these cakewalks, where it was like musical chairs, you know, but when you landed on a number, you actually won a cake, you know. So if your number was called, you'd win a big cake. It was huge. So anyways, I would do this every single year as a kid. Okay, I want you to get this. As a kid, I would win the cake. And you know what I did? I used visualization. So as I was walking around in the circle, the music, was playing, I would imagine and visualize myself holding the cake. Holding the cake. I didn't get what I was doing until later on in my life, when I was understanding how the subconscious mind works, when I was understanding, how powerful neuroscience is and rewiring the brain and shaping those perceptions. And I had another pivotal incident in my life that bridged the gap to understanding how visualization was key. I might have said this in another video as well, but again, this is so important. So I got into bodybuilding years ago. I want to say when I was in college, real serious, right after college. No matter what I was trying to do to get in shape, like dieting, I tried all types of dieting, working out endlessly, nothing worked until I did what I'm going to share with you right now. I started to visualize before I went into the gym how I wanted my body to look. Now, what was interesting, there was a reference point that I used, that I connected, that I imprinted into my subconscious mind. And that was the movie, The Terminator. You know, Linda Hamilton, when she was all buff, she's like doing those chin-ups. I forget which Terminator movie that was, but that was my avatar. I used that. I imprinted that in my subconscious mind, and I became that avatar. Here's what happened. In a few short months, I want to say it was less than 6 months, I had redefined my body. What I struggled with for years, I want you to get this. I struggled with for years because I did not know how to hack this part of my brain. I didn't know how to hack my subconscious mind to change the way that I saw myself. And I'm going to get into why visualization is important, how that impacts your subconscious mind, and what I find most women are doing instead that is hurting them in every area of their life. So anyways, I was focusing on this visualization every time I'd work out, with every rep, every set. And it was amazing because my body transformed. I felt like I broke through years of sabotage, years of negative programming that had been stopping me. Now, all the information on how to achieve my ideal body and health was there, it was out there. But I had a disconnect, I had a block. So my identity was, well, this is just how it's going to be. It has to be hard. And so when I started doing that through the repetition of using this visualization process, what happened is I transformed my body. Now, here is like the mind-blowing part of the story. I think it's really cool, is that I had complete strangers come up to me without even telling a soul that I was focusing on. I was visualizing, channeling, right? Linda Hamilton, her character, Sarah Connor, I believe, was the name of her character in the movie. I was just connecting, becoming her, almost like I was an actress. If you're familiar with method acting, you become that person, you embody that character. So I had complete strangers come up to me and they say, you know who you look like? You look like Linda Hamilton from the movie Terminator. And what was crazy is, like, I never told anyone. I mean, isn't that crazy? I didn't tell a soul, yet I had people coming up to me. And so I did not, so even though the visualization process was powerful in creating that scenario, I did not 100% bridge the gap of what was going on until I started studying the brain, started studying neuroscience. I started understanding that the subconscious mind is so powerful. So let's talk a little bit about, the subconscious mind and how it works with visualization. So your subconscious mind is responsible for 95%. Every time I tell this stat, to me, it is mind-blowing. Subconscious mind is responsible for 95% of your beliefs, your habits, and behaviors. So think about it this way. If we're talking about the context of getting into your best shape, would you agree, if you have a bad self-image, if you keep thinking, oh, this has to be hard, this is just me, that you're going to perpetuate that identity? You're going to self-identify with someone that just can't get into good shape. And so what happens is that your habits you'll start reinforcing those bad habits and start maybe binging on food, not being 100% perfect. The next thing you know, you're eating a whole pizza. And then you're like, okay, I'm going to start my diet tomorrow. Okay. So how to break that vicious cycle, I have learned through the process of visualization. Now, if you're an entrepreneur like me, the same principles can apply to your business. I have helped clients to visualize their success, visualize their outcomes, getting into, let's just say if you're doing a big presentation and you're having stage fright, you definitely want to use the power of visualization. You want to be present in your visualization. So what does not work when you're creating these visualizations, if you're in a bad mode, because what's going to happen is you're going to visualize the opposite. So remember, I said earlier is that a lot of women right now, they're doing things that are counteracting their goals, everything that they want to put out there, their desires, because they're focusing on negative visualizations. Now, I'm not going to tell you to always think positive, because it's absolutely impossible. But what you don't want to do is you don't want to visualize and go into that mode of connecting with what you want when you are negative, when you're having like a really bad day. What you need to do is you need to manage your emotions. You need to shift that, so then you get into the place of flow. So let's just say you're in the place of flow. How can you use this process of visualization? I have taught classes on this. I actually have an upcoming program. You definitely want to get on my list. Go to heatherpicken.com. It is going to be absolutely mind-blowing, this program that I'm going to teach, because what I've realized after helping women to build 6 and 7+ figure businesses using the power of visualization, that does not mean you're never taking the action. What it means is you're bridging the gap and you're shifting your internal dialogue and how you also see yourself. Okay. So you can't take the action on things that you need to do for your business or any area of your life if you don't shift your perception. So we talked about the subconscious mind, how powerful it is, how you need to be in like this flow state when you visualize. So then the next question is, okay, Heather, when is the best time to visualize? What do I do in my visualization process? So the best time to visualize, honestly, you could do that throughout the day. But the two most important times that I find, and I've created a whole program around this that I'm releasing very soon, but it's creating a mindfulness routine in the morning where your mind is primed to receive those suggestions or actually imprint the visualizations into your subconscious mind so that your reality is a reflection. And here's another interesting point about your subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind doesn't know what's real or what's not real. Okay, I want to repeat that again. Your subconscious mind does not know what's real or what's not real. So, would you want to retrain and reprogram your subconscious mind through the act of visualization to get what you want? Would you want to do it? Most people don't know how, number one. Number two, they don't think it's going to work, but this is scientifically proven. It absolutely works. So, you have to trust the process. The only way it doesn't work is if you're not in the flow. If you believe it doesn't work, right, then you're creating a contradiction in your mind, creating that loophole. And yeah, if you think that it's not going to work, then you're proving yourself absolutely right, right? So you want to realize that this process is extremely powerful. So best times to use visualization in the morning, priming your mind before you start your day, before you're checking emails or anything else. Really, really important. The second time that you can use visualization that I find is very powerful is right before you go to sleep. I have a whole process on how to do that. But we're just going to really focus on simple basics for those, especially that might be new to visualization and maybe you don't believe that it's possible. What I would recommend is start with something small. Actually, let me backtrack and share another story because I've been using visualization to hit my goals, hit my business goals, relationship goals, body goals. Every goal in my life has happened that I have set forth due to the power of visualization. Now, that doesn't mean everything happened like on my exact timeline or exactly the way that I thought it would be, but it was the essence of the end result of what I wanted. Okay. So that's another thing you want to factor in there. But when you're visualizing, what is so cool is that you stop worrying, you stop sabotaging your success. So what I recommend to do, and I was actually now just thought I was talking before and then I got into this feedback loop in my mind, which happens as I get so excited about the subject, is that I was visualizing myself. So when I was training for a fitness show is basically in the context of what I was doing gymnastics. I had a choreographed routine, which I choreographed myself. And one of the things that I did is I visualized myself performing the routine. Why is that important? It's important because when you visualize something like a performance, your brain is actually making those connections without physically performing the action. They have done scientific research on this, that they proved that the brain is making these connections when you are visualizing this in your mind. There's many books that have been written about this. I talk about it in my book, the latest book that I wrote, the La Dolce Vita formula. But anyways, it's so important that I really want you to get this concept that when you visualize yourself, seeing yourself do something, you're making those connections in your brain. Okay. that is important because when it comes to, let's just say you are focusing on giving a speech and you have visualized yourself going through the speech, feeling successful. What happens is if you've married that enough into your brain, making those connections, then when it comes to the physical demonstration, you being up on stage, you're going to feel confident. You're going to be able to stand in your power, dissolve that fear because you've already done that internal work. So getting back to my fitness competition, I would do this. I would visualize myself doing this routine without practicing it physically. I did that several times every single day. So I had my little practice in the morning, right before I would do the routine. I would also visualize myself, and then at night. So I would essentially do it 3 times a day. Does that mean you have to do it 3 times a day? No, this is just what I did. So when it came to the event, my performance was flawless. Not only was it flawless, but I had the confidence. I had the confidence on stage to perform in front of hundreds of people, doing gymnastics, this choreographed routines. Something. This was something that I had never done before. So I took a year, even though I took gymnastics when I was younger. I wasn't that great at it, but I took a year to retrain my body and realize that, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I got to reprogram my mind, right? Because everything happens in your mind first. So all of your business plans or any trips that you want to plan, whatever goals that you want to achieve, it starts with your thinking, right? And so imagine if you're planning for a trip and you're focusing on the worst case doom or gloom. It's actually good to think about, worst case scenarios. But if you keep reliving that over and over again, and you keep visualizing that, you're going to create worry. You're going to create doubt, and you may just recreate that situation. I've seen that happen with people. So again, best times today, morning and evening, at least morning and evening minimum. Sometimes when I want to visualize something that I'm working on with my goals, I find I become one with the goal. And it actually works to my benefit because I find I also don't sabotage my success. So if I'm working, let's just say right now, I'm working on a fitness goal because I'm getting married. I know it's crazy. I've never been married before, but I want to be in my best shape ever. And I've been focusing and visualizing myself, how I want to be. And because of that, because I see myself going to the gym, that's really important. I go to the gym. I see myself eating healthy. Guess what? I don't get off my plan. Very rarely. I'm actually like 95% compliant. I find that there's no perfection. There's no perfection. We all mess up once in a while. But I've been able to do that consistently because I use this process of visualization. So what I recommend, some of the processes when using visualization, if you're working on achieving goals like performance goals, I like to kind of take myself through the whole routine. And a performance good goal could be you're giving a presentation, you're speaking in front of people, anywhere that you have to be quote unquote on. I would just take myself through that, seeing myself successfully speaking, hitting all of the points that I need to, going through it from point A to point B, and then of course that end result. Now, a lot of times you hear people saying, well, just focus on the end result of what you want things to look like. And I definitely agree with that. But what I have found that works really well is that sometimes when you're looking to achieve your goals, you may not have the belief that supports that end result. Okay, so let's talk about business. Let's just say you have a goal to make 10,000 a month in your business. Maybe that's not believable for you right now. I would start with kind of that middle ground, what that looks like. Pick a number that you feel comfortable, that's doable, but a stretch. And the reason why I say that is that sometimes I find women have created these disempowering beliefs that are so strong. If they automatically try to visualize that end number of making that 10,000, they find themselves feeling more overwhelmed and stressed out. So you pick somewhere in the middle. I would start there and see yourself taking the action. Okay, just like if you were creating a performance goal, you got to see yourself going through the process of doing it. What that does, it helps you to change your habits. When you change your habits, you're changing your behaviors, and that changes the end result. So, can you see by using visualization, you're going to connect yourself on an inner level? You are going to literally rewire your brain. I think this is so important. Honestly, this is the most important thing that I teach that I know works 100%, 100% of the time. The time frame, again, it might be different for everyone. And the last thing I will say about using visualization to achieve any goal in the fastest time possible is to also let go if you're feeling stressed out because things are not 100% perfect. You have to allow for that. You have to allow for things not sometimes being linear, because if you don't, what happens is that you're creating this constant perfection and you're imposing a lot of like undue stress on yourself, resulting in feeling like down, feeling depressed. So you don't want to do that. So realize that sometimes, challenges happen. So you need to regroup, reset. I'll definitely do another video. Actually, I think I've done several videos on this channel about that. But I want you to focus on, what are you going to visualize? Number one, pick out your goal. I'm going to do more videos on goal setting. Pick out your goal that you want to create. And you can also pick out a larger goal. But the reason why I like to pick a shorter time frame goal is what you're doing is you're building the bridge in your brain, showing you, it's a demonstration that this absolutely works. Visualization, using the process of visualization, 100% works. People don't do it because they don't think it works or they're not doing it correctly. So again, if you find this information helpful, if you're sabotaging your success, if you're like, Heather, I've got big dreams and big goals, but I keep getting in my own way, I encourage you to sign up, go over to heatherpicken.com, get onto my list, because I am launching actually 3 different products that I feel are going to be life-changing no matter what stage you are in your life, no matter who you are. I've got something for everyone. So I'm so excited. I'm just kind of giving you a little teaser here, but let me know if this video has helped you. Comment below, comment below. Make sure you subscribe to my channel and thumbs up. Until next time, this is Heather Picken, and live fearlessly.